Okay, you guys, Periscope 101. First of all, I always like to start with the what and the why. So, first of all, what is Periscope? Periscope is a live streaming application that sort of sits on top of Twitter that allows you to press a button and instantly share whatever is in front of your camera instantly with your entire audience. Then they're easily able to share it with their followers if they choose. So they can click on the link, watch whatever you've got going on, and then share it instantly with all of their followers, who can then share it with all of their followers, and so on and so forth. So why Periscope? Well, number one, based on what I just said, you can probably figure out you can reach a massive audience really, really quickly, instantly. You can establish credibility really, really quickly. And you're able to differentiate yourself. I mean, you can do what you can never do in writing or in just even a video or a webinar, because you are showing your skills live, real time, and you're engaging with your audience live, real time. So the questions that they're asking you now are the questions that are relevant now. And last but not least, it's free, you guys. It's free. So I can't think of really anyone who shouldn't use Periscope, anyone with a business anyway, or a message that they need to get out to the world. So let's begin. The very first thing we want to do when we go over to Periscope is set up our profile. So we click the icon in the top right-hand side of the screen, and then that brings up my profile. And I'm going to click on it again so that you can see the expanded bio. And so it says digital strategist, passionate about simplifying online marketing for entrepreneurs. I make free tutorials. Join our Periscope group on Facebook, and then I've got a link. Okay. I have a nice, crisp, clear picture. The pink is kind of bright and stands out, so you want to make sure you have a good picture. And then the next thing we want to do is go to settings. And the way that I have it set is that users who follow me, I will be alerted when they have a broadcast, but you could turn that off. And then under autosave broadcasts, this is really important, because when I have that turned on, that means that when I do a broadcast, it will automatically save to my camera roll, and I can then upload it to YouTube or Wistia or Vimeo. I can post it to any of my social channels. So you want to make sure and do that. Then the next thing that we want to do is go over here to this little TV in the lower left-hand corner. And what I'm seeing now is it will show me who is live right now that I follow. So right now it's this person named Coop, okay? And he's live right now. Everyone else is just, this shows their recent scopes. So all of these other broadcasts that people who I'm following have done, they will last for 24 hours before they disappear. So that's what that is. If I click on the globe and I just sort of take my finger and I drag the image of the globe all around, just like I'm spinning a real globe, I see these red dots. And these red dots are showing me people who are broadcasting right now live all over the world. So I'll...
Fab. It's exactly what you need to do after a hot day at school.
Okay, here we are.
It's really warm.
And what we're seeing is,
he doesn't want to go in, he's not happy.
On the left-hand side, these are people who are joining the broadcast. And on the lower right-hand corner, I can see how many people are actually in the broadcast. If I want to look and see who's in the broadcast, I click on the lower right-hand corner. I swipe up, and these are all the viewers. Okay, if I want to engage with the people who are coming in, I can click on them and click reply and engage with them. The other thing that I'm able to do is if I want other people to watch this with me, I'll swipe from left to right, and you can see here underneath the person's name it says share. I would click share, and I could share that with specific people, all of my followers. I could just share it out to all of Twitter or copy it to my clipboard and share the link for later. The next thing I'm going to show you is hearts. So when I tap on the screen, it's giving hearts. That's me tapping on the screen. I'm the green heart. Somebody else is tapping the purple hearts. And each person has their own color. So if we go back in the room, you can see that I'm green. This girl, Marissa, is purple. And so when we give hearts, it's the corresponding color. And if I click on the broadcaster's profile, I can see that she has 2,677 hearts. That means in all the time that she's been on Periscope, this is how many hearts she's received. And all it does is if you get a certain number of hearts, if the more hearts you get, the higher up on the leaderboard that you get, which I would imagine the higher you are on the leaderboard, the more visible you're going to be. So when I click on the TV, it shows all the people who I follow who are live right now. So I really like following Brian Fanzo. He's doing a broadcast right now. I can see the name is Tech Best Practices for a Millennial Mobile Workforce, Cloud Talk, okay? And he's been with Periscope since the very beginning. He's a good person to follow.
Thanks. Our awesome community manager, Kristen Cardos, is out there on Twitter running the Twitter hashtag. So make sure you guys are following hashtag Cloud Talk. But one of the statements they made, which I actually thought was pretty interesting, was talking about all of this change. And they said, all of the traditional barriers that have kept people from collaborating successfully will soon be eliminated thanks to collaboration software, electronics, Wi-Fi, and ingenuity. So what are your thoughts on that? Like just on the idea of these barriers being broken?
Okay, so let's talk about starting a broadcast. Where that blinking cursor is up at the top left, this is where we're going to write the title of our broadcast. But before we do that, I want to look at the buttons here at the bottom of the screen. So starting at the far right, there's a little Twitter bird. If I gray that Twitter bird out, it means that when I write the name of my broadcast and I start my broadcast, it will not get tweeted out. But I want it to get tweeted out. So I'm going to make that white. Then there's a little bubble here. If I click on that, it says only users who I follow can chat. But I want everyone to be able to chat, so I'm going to make that gray. Then there's a picture of a padlock. If I click that, it says private broadcast. These don't show up in the watch table, and the only people who will be not notified and allowed to watch are the people you select. So these are all of my followers. So I could pick any of these folks to join me. And I can also search for people here. So this is a really, really great tool that I've only started to experiment with, but this is fantastic if you want to. Let's say you're a yoga instructor and you want to have yoga with 20 people. You want to lead a yoga class with 20 people who are maybe across the globe. You don't necessarily want the whole world to see you doing yoga. Well, this is a great way for you to do that. If you're a person who has a course, like you have some sort of instructional, course online, this is a great way to talk to just those people live. This would be a great thing to use for a mastermind or a book club. So lots of potential with that. And then this is really important. So this little triangle is to the left is, I have it turned off, and I recommend that you do that as well. I think the latest update of Periscope has made this safer, but if you haven't updated your Periscope, what happens is if you have that turned on, people can literally zoom in to your location almost to your front door. So that's not a good thing. So you want to make sure and have that grayed out as I do. All right, the next thing is going to be creating your title. Your title is the most important thing that you're going to do because this is going to determine who comes in to watch. This is how you get people to watch who aren't even following you yet. So let's say you have no followers or one follower. If you use the hashtag, let's say you're going to be talking about Apple Computer, okay? So if you use the hashtag Apple, updates for, let's say, entrepreneurs, okay? People who are following entrepreneur, people who are following Apple are going to come into your broadcast. And you can use emoji to make it sort of eye-catching, okay? and you can, and that's it. Okay. The next thing I want to tell you is that, do you see how I have this screen focused on the Apple on my computer? Well, that's because I'm going to be talking about Apple updates. So whatever is the first thing that your camera is focused on is what is going to show up in the list. So you want it to be eye-catching so people are more tempted to come into your broadcast. So just make sure that first screen that your camera is focused on what it is you want people to see first, okay? Then the next thing we would do is click Start Broadcast. And I'm not going to do that because this is just a demo, but when I click Start Broadcast, it's very important to begin talking right away. So people will start to come into the room. You will see them fill into the room, and make sure and just greet them. Hey, everybody, thanks for coming in. Go ahead and let me know where you're coming in from. I've got a great broadcast for you today. We're going to be talking about some really important Apple updates. But before we do, why don't you go ahead and, introduce yourselves to each other, and we're going to get started. Okay, so here we go. And then you would get started because a lot of people are just silent until they think there's a good enough number of people in the room. Just start your presentation, and you can save like the most important thing for a minute or two into the broadcast, or longer if you want, to make sure that everybody hears your most important message. But remember, this is going to save for 24 hours. So people are going to have an opportunity to watch the replay, number one. Number two, you have the opportunity to save it to your phone, as we saw in the settings area. So this will be saved to your phone, and you can always post it on your other social media channels so that people who didn't catch the broadcast can see it, okay? Just make it really informative for the people who have shown up for your live broadcast, and keep them engaged.
From Hamilton. Hi, Kelsa. Welcome. Already following Natalie. Yes, good. Good. Multi-talented and always great fun. Thanks, Ollie. I appreciate it.
You see there's a lot of engagement going on here.
Okay, fashion and beauty talk. Where's the mixed martial arts? Blogging tips. Guys, and thanks for the hearts. Thanks for tapping the screen. It lets me know this is useful for you. Random.
Okay, so I'm going to actually do a live broadcast right now so you can see, all right? I think that's the best way to demonstrate this. So I'm going to make my title, if you join this scope, you will be in my Periscope 101 video. See, this will be short. Okay, because I'm not really giving any value, but so I'm just letting them know, hey, you're not going to get a lot out of this, but this is what's going on, okay? So I'm going to put it on the screen. Oh, here we go. All right, so we're live. I'm going to flip it on me. Hey, Karen. Hey, you guys. So I'm actually, what we're doing right now is part of a Periscope 101 training. It's being recorded, and so those of you who are coming in the room, it would be really cool if you could just tell me where you're coming in from. Thank you for demonstrating the hearts. That's great. So we've got people giving us hearts, and we've got Sooner in here and Anil. We got Michelle from Houston. Hey, Emma. So we're in the middle of recording a Periscope 101. I should have this published by today. I'm going to have a PDF that's going to accompany it with all the steps. You guys are obviously pros, and you don't need Periscope 101, but I am. Hey, how you doing? Hey, Ireland. Hey, Emma. Hey, Happy. So I'm greeting everyone. They're coming in, and I'm talking. I'm not waiting for it to fill up for me to talk about what I'm going to talk about. So, I enjoyed it so much, Emma. I wish I could have stayed longer. I'm making this. I actually was, I'm recording various scopes so that I can demonstrate what scoping is, of course, for this 101 video. And so I've just been hopping all around, and I was having issues with the sound and all sorts of stuff. But so see, Emma's talking to me, and I'm speaking with Emma, and Carrie's here. Hey, Carrie, did we ever figure out that thing with the location setting? Because I can still zoom way in. Thanks for all those hearts, you guys. Okay. So what I'm going to do is scroll to the right for my people watching this video, and I can see who's in the room. So I'm looking at the people who are in the room. I'm clicking on Victor. Hi, Victor. And I can see that Victor is a business consultant, and he's in coaching, and he develops and inspires business leaders, and he is following 78 people. So one thing I love to do is I like to follow people who I like to see who they're following. It's a great way to find out who to follow. Before we part, my dear friends, can you each share with me your favorite, like your number one favorite person scope? Oh, Andra, I missed you guys because it was, love Kimra Luna for sure. I missed, if you guys posted before that, I had the screen wrong. So tell me again. Yep, Sue, voice is out of sync. Sorry about that. I love Tepsi. She's so inspiring. Okay, so if you want to know more about Periscope, come on over and join our Periscope group on Facebook. It's We Heart Periscope. You can also join my really dynamic, fun group where we talk about all the latest, greatest social media strategies and new technologies and apps to help grow your business. And that's called The Front Row. And you get there by going to http://facebook.com/group/in-the-front-row. You can also find me at jenlehner.com and on Facebook at The Jen Lehner. So it's facebook.com/The Jen Lehner. I have a ton of tutorial videos over there. It's not letting me access it from here, but I have a ton of free tutorials. So I look forward to seeing you at any of those or all of those places. And don't ever hesitate to reach out to me with any questions you might have, because I love to help.